Okay, here we go. Place these integers on the number line where they would go. You're not going to do this for any fat head shots. Just place the integers on the number line where they would go. Ironically, you guys are really, really good with these. Like the whole team this year. Despite that we haven't maybe done this as much as a normal year, kind of put a little dash or a dot where they would go so we know. Actually, this will be easier to just check. A lot of good. Some of you have to realize that a fraction is part of a whole. Okay, so this would be negative 1.5. That looked pretty good on almost everybody's. 1/3 would be about right in here. Consistent. Negative 3/4. You divide this into fourths. Would be about right here. 1 1/10. Just past 1. Once again, it looked pretty good. Okay, pretty good. Who thinks they had all 4 pretty close? I thought most of you did. All right. Moving on. You can't replicate this. Don't need to write anything down yet. Okay. How do we graph points? We're looking for the x and we're looking for the y. Okay, so on your boards, I'm going to tell you a point and I want you to give me the coordinates. Does that make sense? So let's just go with F. What are the coordinates for F? What's the x? What's the y? You can show either one of us. No, I want to know the numbers. No, yes. Don't do it as a fraction. Good, Saul. Good. So, okay, we won't spend a lot of time on this. This is good for me to know. You guys are good here. It would be 3, 5. What would A be? What would A be? Go careful. Yes. A would be negative 5, 1. Okay? All right, let's do something different. If we took point B and we reflected it across the y-axis, what would be the new coordinates? If we took point B and we reflected it across the y-axis. Goodwill. Yup. Nope. Yes. No. Yes, Saul. So this is the y-axis right here. Y, don't lie, it goes up and down. We're reflecting it. And it would be negative 1, 1. It would be negative 1, 1. Okay? I think we're good enough with graphing. Something you could see is, it might ask you to like connect the points, and then you may have to give like, the perimeter of a shape. Okay, so this would be like saying 6 units. This would be 6 units. This would be 4 units. This would be 4 units. And then you have to add them up, that sort of thing. Okay, let's keep rolling. All right, we're going to skip. Okay, where would the 4th vertex go to make this a parallelogram with an area of 12? Okay, I don't think this will appear, but if it did, we have a vertex right here. A vertex is a point. You guys can't do this, so you don't have grid boards. You have a vertex here. So the base is 4. The height is 3. The formula for a parallelogram is base times height. So we just need to finish this. We need to put a dot somewhere. Okay? Where would that dot go? And we want to come up to the clever touch and do it? Anybody want to do it? Nope, that would make it a trapezoid. She's making sure you guys know what a trapezoid is. That's good, Abe. I appreciate that. All right. We don't want a trapezoid here, though. We want it to be a parallelogram, which means the opposite sides are parallel. Will, you want to do it? Heavy hand sanitizer. Should have had even hand sanitizer, but it's okay. There we go. Yep. That's it. And now it would be a parallelogram with an area of 12. Moving on. Okay, I'm going to do this one also. This will tidy up graphing. Graph an equation. I don't know if anyone remembers this, but write on your boards y equals 2x plus 1. Write a t-table for x and y. So this is the whole substitution thing. If you put in 0 for x, y is 1. And so you put a dot at 0, 1. If you put in 1 for x, y is 3. So we have a point at 1, 3. If you put in 2 for x, y is 5. So we have a point at 2, 5. I don't know if you remember this, but this is the whole, it should make a straight line if you did it correctly. Okay? We graphed those. That was somewhere around Christmas time or right after break that we did that. All right? Okay, I think we're going to call graphing. Yep, we're done with graphing now. All right, on your boards, write each of these as a unit rate. You are allowed to use calculators. There are 2 of them up there. No, unit rates are over 1. Yes. Yes. Both. Both units. You need use your calculator. So you divide 72 by 3. Yep. How many of you have your computers with you, just out of curiosity? About half, a little more than half. Okay. We're gonna see where we're at in time. I may do a really quick Kahoot at the end. No. So you would write this button. This is how you set these up. So you would have 72 over 3, and then you would have 24 over 2. So this would be 2 over 1. This would be 24 over 1. Okay. All right. The answers, guys, would be if you have 72 miles on 3 gallons. You would have 72 over 3, which is equal to 24 over 1. 24 over 12, which is equal to 2 over 1. Unit means to 1. Unit rates. Moving on. What is the better buy? You will have to round here. So we're always going to put the price over the amount. For those of you that are struggling on this one, you're going to need to make a conversion here. How many ounces in a pound?
16.
Okay, now we're talking apples to apples. So we're going to have $2.19 over 12 ounces. We're going to make that price over amount so we can figure out how much 1 ounce is. And we're going to have $3.40 over 16 ounces. And we're going to do the same thing, price over amount. You're going to have to be around. Take your time. The better buy is the cheaper one. Show if you want to. The better buy is the cheaper one. You guys don't do Costco, right? You do Sam's.
We don't do either.
No Sam's
We
anymore?
got rid of it. No, it's just pain to drive to Spring Meadows.
Yeah, from your house. Good half hour, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty close.
Got around to the nearest penny. Okay, I'll give a marker toss shot for this one to somebody that can explain how to get this as a unit price. Go ahead, Cora.
I'm gonna do, price divided by,
Amount, yep. And what'd you get for the 219 one?
about 18 cents.
Be 18 cents per ounce. Okay, and then somebody else, Soph, what'd you get for this one?
I got 21 cents per ounce.
Usually the bigger size is cheaper, like Mr. Meyer said, but this time this is cheaper by 3 cents per ounce. Go ahead, you guys. If you take your marker, you don't need to hand sanitize. Okay? Good try. Good try. Lots of red markers up here. All right, moving on. Let's keep rolling. Proportion. This will definitely show up. If Danny catches 3 fish every 5 hours, how many fish would he catch in 15 hours? I mean, we've done a lot of these. Yes, can you just show me? I know you know it. Like, I just need to, like, I have no worries with you two other than you going too fast. Because of the timing of the year, we've done so many proportions. Love it. Tomorrow. Can you show me, please? Good saw. The one thing I would do for the air test is I would put the little labels. Fish to hours. That way you know you're being consistent. Okay? It should have been this. There's not much else I can do for proportions, you guys. We've done so much of this. You didn't have to do Will's way. You could have just for this one gone 5 times 3 is 15, 3 times 3 is 9. Just how you guys did it in your head, I'm sure. All right? Try this one. If Stella can jump rope 80 times in 60 seconds, how many times would you expect her to jump rope in 90 seconds? Set up a proportion. Okay, Caleb. Good job. Good job. She's jump roping 80 times in 60 seconds. So in 90 seconds, what would you expect? If I cross multiply here, answer 120. Went much better on that one and it was harder. Okay, let's see what we get here. The conversions will be given to you. Mr. Chipka will give you a conversion sheet you're allowed to use. I'm still waiting to hear if you're allowed to use graph paper, but you will get scrap paper. I think graph paper. I probably should just look it up myself. You know? We did it 2 years ago. We did, unless something changed. Okay. And then you will get this conversion sheet. So 4 cups is how many ounces? There's 8 fluid ounces in a cup. Think for this one. Horse to fly. Multiply. You can just write the answer. Oh, I just won the first one, but it's okay. I think they were all good. I'll tell you what, just do all 3. Just do all 3. A lot of you are working on all 3 now anyways. So Tyler, there's 8 ounces in a cup. You have 4 cups. What are you going to do with the 4 and the 8? multiply or divide on all these. Is it what's bigger? If it's horse to fly, multiply. If it's fly to horse, divide, of course. You gotta try something, bud. Wait, hold up the first one. Okay, I thought it said 38. Yep. Okay, first one should have been 32. Horse to fly, multiply. Horse to fly, multiply. Fly to horse, divide of course. 32, 36, and 8. Alright. Alright, let's go to some percents. On your boards with your calculator, I want you to find the percent of both these grades. You got a 13 out of 12 on an assignment. What percent would that be? Hopefully you know it's over 100. And if you got a 3 out of 5 on an assignment, what percent would that be? So think what we've done in the calculator all year. I've not written percents on top of your papers for a reason. It's not a 12 out of 13, Gabe. It's a 13 out of 12. The first one. Okay, so if you write this as a fraction and you're looking for a percent, you do the numerator divided by the denominator. 13 out of 12. No. It's not denominator divided by numerator. Guys, everybody look up here. This is called your numerator. This is your denominator right here. The 13 is the numerator. If you type this in the calculator, that gets 1.0833333. This is 108%. If you do 3 divided by 5, you get 0.6. Percent is not out of tenths or out of 10, it's out of 100. So this would be a 60%. Good thing we reviewed that one. Okay? If 24 out of 36 students said they would swim with sharks, what percent is this? What would a 24 out of 36 be? Let's do it. We need to, again, set up a fraction. Numerator divided by denominator. That's a decimal, not a percent, bud. So anytime they ask you for a percent, you're going to set up a fraction and it equals this in the calculator, which if I round it is a 66.7 or 67%. Okay? We're going to do one of these. You want to buy a PS4. That's so old, this question. PS5s now, right? Yeah? Okay. The cost is $300. If you have a 20% off coupon, we did a few of these. How do you find 20% of 300? I always get candy for this. What do we do? That's right. What do you do, Caleb? What are you going to multiply? Okay, so what do we turn the 20% into, Caleb? We turn it into, Will? You turn it into a decimal. You multiply this. You get $60. Sweet. Is that how much the PlayStation costs? $60? Because that's a pretty good deal. I would buy it. No, I wouldn't. Somebody would buy it and resell it on eBay. Okay? What do you say, Caleb? You're welcome. Manners, hardest question of the day. All right, what does it mean the cost is if you save $60? How'd you get that, Jocelyn?
I subtracted 60 from 300.
You take 300, you subtract 60, and that means the cost would be $240. Okay? You're welcome. All right, let's move on. Really quick with area. On your boards, what's the area of the rectangle? Alright, the area of the rectangle is 21. Remember when we label area? It's meters squared. What's the area of the triangle? Ooh, good. I thought I would fool people. Yes, no. Yes, no. 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 Yes, yes. Yes, good. Yes, yes. Base times height divided by 2 for a piece of candy. Why do we divide by 2 with triangles? Why do we divide by 2 with triangles? For an apple now and later. Benjamin. Because it's half of a parallelogram. What would be the area of that triangle right there? Yes, yes, yes. Good label. You're on it today again. Be this tomorrow. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. You're on it too, Saul. Good. Gotta divide by 2. What's the area of that parallelogram? Yes, yes, yes. Remember, label units squared. Put a little 2 there. What's the area of the parallelogram? Jack, please try it. Base times height, yes. So 6 times 4 is 24 meters squared. All right. Let's just raise our hands and say it. Let's not write these. All right. What would be the name of that net? What would it be, Saul? Very good. Who are you? What did you do with Saul? You're an alien today, bud. Good job. What would be the name of this net, Cora? Square pyramid. What would be this one right here? Yeah. Rectangular prism. Can we go 4 for 4? Brooklyn, what would this one be? Triangles sort of give it away on the sides, meaning it has to be a, not a prism, but if there's triangles on the side. So it shouldn't no triangular rectangles. It's a triangular pyramid. Triangular pyramid, okay? That was good though. Okay. Let's see, let's try a hard one. If the area of this rectangle is a third, and the length is 5/6, what would the width be? We have done one of these, but not as many as I would have liked. So I want you to give you a hint here. Those of you that are lost, some of you are already rolling. Length times width equals area. I know my length is 5/6. I know my area is 1/3. I gotta find W. Yes. Could have simplified, but it's okay. Decimals. That's right. I don't know what they would do though with that. Just be careful. Good, Lily. So let's look at this. So this is an equation, right? So in an equation, we always have to do the inverse. What's the inverse of multiplying by 5/6? Just say it. We're going to divide by 5/6. On both sides, we're dividing by 5/6. So we have keep it, change it, flip it, and we get 6/15. Or, if you reduce it, that would be 2/5. Okay, either one of those work. Okay. The word decompose, and we're not going to do this for time's sake, means you're going to break it down. You don't have to draw this out, but remember that you may have to break shapes into smaller shapes. You may have to do it on a grid. Let's do one on a grid. Just look up here. Let's make sure we know how to count on a grid. One of these lines is equal to 1 unit. So I have a triangle and I have a rectangle. Let's start with the easy one, the rectangle. What's my length in my rectangle here? Just say it. 4. What's my width or my height? So what's the area of that? The area of that is 20. You guys good how we got that? Because it's made up of 20 units, so I called it unit squared. All right, this little triangle up here. What's my base? What's my height? What's my area of the triangle? So when I add these up, I would get, that should be pretty easy now. as long as you know how that one little dash means 1 unit. Okay, go ahead and do this. Name the figure and give me the edges, vertices, and faces. Show Mr. Meyer for me because I'm going to split my video right now.